here. But we're about to find out as we're going into our game number 3 here now between MarineLorD and LucifroN. MarineLorD being in the color red here, playing as the Ruse on Wetlands. Starting off with that hunting cabin. Only a single villager on, actually 2 hunting cabins at the same time, being built by 1 villager each.
And now, it's not just that MarineLorD has the Ruse in the north, Lucy is on that French, and we have to highlight this, right? LucifroN, historically, this has been his signature civ. He's always marked it. I remember back in as early as Wallalow, much before that, he would agree that it was French that he would always go to. It was his best civ in his eyes. So this, in a lot of ways, could be LucifroN putting his best foot forward in this series. Hopefully. Because, I don't think anyone wants to witness a complete steamroll. MarineLorD is definitely looking hot, and I think even he wants to feel like he wins those super close games. He'll definitely feel great at the way he's outplay, but I think he wants to see LucifroN and take him at his best, because you'll know as a competitor, right? You don't just want those easy wins. You want to feel like you justified it, like you were the best while your opponent was.
Exactly. And I feel like LucifroN, now he's getting to a point where he's playing with civilization that he might be a little bit more comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Now being on the French himself. And French vs. Ruse is probably one of the most even matchups, I would say, at the moment. Just because Ruse obviously being like giga strong, but if there's a civilization that can somewhat keep up with them, it is going to be French, because they still have like that second TC superior scaling going for them. So if MarineLorD with the Ruse goes for a second TC, if LucifroN goes for a second TC, LucifroN is still going to be the player that scales better as the game goes on.
Absolutely. The thing is, I was just noticing, it's very different on Wetlands, I think, for the French compared to a lot of other maps. You can see it by the fact that we've already got Wheelbarrow coming in. I'd say this is abnormal behavior for most high-level French players at the moment. Usually they wait until the tech up is underway, but you mentioned, because you've got to be on this fishing, you're moving around a lot more villages, there's immediate value in getting Wheelbarrow online.
Yeah, exactly. On a map like this, where resources are so spread out, also means that civilizations like the Ruse, where they actually pay a lot more for their hunting cabins, it's going to be really expensive for them to move out onto different resources at the beginning. And we see MarineLorD actually opening up with most of his villagers, actually all his food villagers being on the sheep. It's going to be really expensive for him to move out onto like the deer, the shoreline fishes, stuff like that.
That's interesting, actually, because if you check MarineLorD's base, one of the locations he dropped the hunting cabin, I mean, it's like we have God vision, right? He doesn't see it at the beginning. If he went a little bit further south, he could have dropped it, I think, next to the shoreline fish and had similar wood value. Yeah. Like right there.
That definitely would have been the ideal spot for him. Now we're going to very likely be seeing the Kremlin. Just think MarineLorD himself said earlier that Kremlin is just...
It's absurd.
Yeah, it's a really good building, especially in like this kind of matchup where denying resources early on can give you crucial timing advantage here. And I think behind that, he's also getting a good amount of bounty, it looks like, by all the wolves. It doesn't look like LucifroN has really done his due diligence when it comes to bounty denial.
With only 2 scouts as well, that's really impressive in this situation. And someone else to mention about this Kremlin raid, like you've seen MarineLorD do. I'm sure like he wasn't the first one to do it, but I think this tournament, Dimmu was the first one to frequently do this, prioritizing a Kremlin on the outcropping to secure that second TC potential, which is vital here, because if you look just north of that Kremlin, there's absurd value for MarineLorD. There's a boar, a deer, double fish, and a berry, pretty much all on the same screen.
Now, I've done this time and time again with Napson. Are you up for the game of bet the bounty here for MarineLorD? How much bounty does he have?
Sure, we can play, honey. So he's done 150 on the wheelbarrow. He's done his tech up, it's another 200. 350, you start with 100, so he's got whoa. Really? No way he's got that much.
I'm guessing that he's at 225. That's gonna be my guess.
You think he's you think he's that low? With wheelbarrow 150 plus 200, started with a 1200.
He opened up with double hunting cabins.
Oh, true. You're right, actually, yeah. You're right. Damn, see, Crackedy's too smart. So you said what? You said about 235, right?
I say 225. That's my guess. But actually, at the same time, LucifroN losing 2 villagers there to MarineLorD, pulling his own mother onto the villagers from LucifroN.
Wait, you're right, dude. You dragged me into maths, Crackedy. You know I don't like doing them. I like watching MarineLorD get some family assistance there. That's disgusting, actually. And look at the injuries on these, right? He builds into a knight, comes back here. It's good night for LucifroN's extension. It's 250, so he cracked the second.
Exactly, on the spot with 250. So that's quite nice for him. But now there's the Gremlins, and gremlins mean that the villagers from LucifroN are gonna have to evacuate because all of them being just so low there cannot remain out there on those resources. And that was quite the large hit there that LucifroN took. Right now, he's a villager behind. Only because he is playing as French, he is not further behind than he could have been. And we see a second stable after the School of Cavalry coming out here for LucifroN. At the same time, MarineLorD, he did opt for the barracks here, so he's adding in Spearmen.
Understandable, right? Like, you know that you can't really match the initial scaling of Lucy, especially if you're going for this secondary TC build. So you just play off of Gremlins plus Spears, and then you eventually come back to Knights. I really like this from MarineLorD. I think he has a very defendable location as well. It's, to be blunt, it's vulgar the way this right side of his base generated. All these tree lines create easily defendable choke points.
Yeah, and that Knight, it only loomed around for a little bit and already so low HP right now. And behind this, MarineLorD, he's macroing towards that second TC. It's going to be coming up relatively soon for him regarding just how many villagers he has out on stone there right now. And LucifroN's Knights are quite weak right now. And with the Kremlin just protects so many resources there. You cannot dive it early on with the Knights.
Because it has the castle turrets upgrade as well, right? So if anything's nearby, the garrison, you aren't a knight. You're paper. You're a horseman. You're a glorified horseman.
Yeah, exactly. They just take so much damage there.
Speaking of two-legged horsemen.
Yeah, I mean, people say Palace Guards are fast. Look at these boys just zooming around the map there.
You know how most people complain about spearmen chasing knights and how they keep pace? Well, now you get to complain about, like, knights chasing spearmen and not being able to keep pace. Oh, dear goodness.
What a time to be alive. And now the second TC is going to be coming up here for MarineLorD. Question is going to be, where is he going to be placing it? It looks like he's pulling villagers over to the deer that he has on the west side and the pond there. That could also be a very nice spot for that second TC to come up. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case. Maybe even to the gold as well.
Interesting that he didn't go for the boar and the deer, but I guess, like, the logic is that's mostly secured. Yeah, because you don't need to double down on it. In fact, if we check that area, I'm not even sure if there's room for a TC. Yeah, there's no room for a town center. Whoops.
Oh, Knights are in position, but at the same time, there's already so many Spearmen out here right now for MarineLorD. It's going to be really tough, and that Knight is critically low HP right now. Now, LucifroN trying to, at the same time, get some damage in on the opposite side. Does find a villager kill out there.
Spearman, forgetting that you can actually fight back, will finally turn and fire. And there's the castle turret damage coming in. So there's +2 per arrow. It stings. Like, what's the armor? I think is it 4 at this stage for Knights, if I recall correctly?
Without a blacksmith, it's 3.
3, okay. And then the base of normal arrow fire is 5, but with castle turrets, you go up to 7.
It's actually 10
higher?
because
sorry.
it's arrow slits is already baked into the Kremlin as well.
You are
so
correct.
It's gonna be like 12 damage.
Wait, why do I think it's 5? Is it 5 by default in TCs?
It should be 6. 6
Yeah,
6 by default. Like the base TC arrow does 8, and then every single villager inside does 6.
You know what I'm doing is I'm thinking of English short bows because I've been scarred by them in English TCs so much. It's almost like, you know when you have a PTSD moment and it all becomes a scrambled experience?
Speaking of PTSD, those gremlins
No. Where are we going, guys? Where is the promised land?
We wanted to chop wood. What are we doing out here?
Instead, we're on the chopping block.
Knighting goes out at the same time, and this hurts so much. Just the idle time.
Where are
so
we going? Where are we going?
Those are lumberjacks. They're going all the way back to wood.
Oh dear goodness! And honestly, like this is the vulgarity of the gremlins on prime display right here. MarineLorD is just in a very comfortable position, has enough spearmen to defend, and actually has surplus to go offensive. Meanwhile, LucifroN, because he just got idled out like that, and he wanted to go for the secondary TC, he's a one-trick pony, literally. He only has knights.
And behind this, it looks like MarineLorD might be actually shaping up to go up to Castle Age here. Already got a good amount of gold in the bank, and now food income secured with that second TC. Is going to have a good amount of food income, and yeah, this could be a very fast Castle Age now behind here from MarineLorD as he's still messing up more and more spearmen, but he's still going to be able to just afford the Age up here potentially very soon.
Spooky proposition as well. Like on a map like this, raiding forces are effective. You could even see him just go into a bunch of horse archers. I actually quite like the idea of horse archers on a map like this because of all the stealth forests.
Yeah, just being able to suddenly pull up and kill a couple of villagers, then disappear into the stealth forest again. LucifroN also heavy on the gold now here with that second TC. I mean, right now, MarineLorD, with the timing on his second TC, he's going to be quite a bit ahead right now when it comes to villagers, but like in a minute from now, LucifroN should have caught up. Maybe 2 minutes.
Well, if the goal is tech ups, though, right, that's where you have the clear, blatant edge if you're MarineLorD. You can probably tech up in the next 20 seconds. LucifroN's easily close to 2 minutes away. Actually, more than 2 minutes right now. With these type of distractions, I'm starting to get a bit worried that we might have a 3-0 on our hands already.
Yeah, the position that MarineLorD has put himself here right now in this matchup is just such a good one. Now, he's got enough units here to just burn down houses, and this is going to pop cap LucifroN. Well, not right now, but yeah, right about now it's going to pop cap him.
Don't you just love, by the way, that the Roost spears are so long that they can chop off the ends, set them on fire, and throw them at knights? Love that detail.
True.
That needs to be an like we've got that with Donzo's. I want like a min-range guy that does that as well.
Oh, that's such a good spot for a high trade house as well.
Okay, guesstimations time. Give the number.
He's on 250, so I'm gonna say it's gonna be like a 240-ish high trade house for him.
Really? I wouldn't give it that high. I'd say like 189.
Maybe.
That sounds
saying 240.
That sounds low,
I'll say
but
240.
I've learned my lesson a while ago. I always gave the high numbers, and they never happen anymore.
We'll see in just a bit. I mean, he is on tier 2 after all.
So bloody annoying. I play a decent amount of French, and I'm tilted watching this. Like, what am I meant to do if I'm a French cavalry spammer on a map like this? MarineLorD, no! No! Mother Slayer.
Family drama.
All right, yeah, well, I mean, that's the finale in the soap opera right there.
Oh, God. I mean, that's also so much additional food income for him. It's 288.
What? Okay, well, I'm going to play Rus again. I've been burnt so many times in these predictions with like stupidly good-looking placements, giving like 190, that I've become numb. That's the highest high trade house I've seen in a very long time, unless I'm on King of the Hill. And I now want to vomit. MarineLorD's like, what would you have had him at this point? Like 60, 65% win chance? Now I just put him up to like 75.
Yeah, I'm also guessing in the high 70s range, but it's going to be so tough for LucifroN to push into this spot right now with the Kremlin, and at the same time, oh, Knight, it goes down so quickly.
Good night, as Crackedy would say, and, well, the archers are on the way, but do you really want to run these knights into the spearmen? They'll easily trade out reasonably well before dying.
Keeps him alive, though, and I think he does have chivalry.
Yeah, he peeled back the super injured ones. Like, look at the health bars on them right now. He keeps practically all of them up bar 1, I believe.
That's a good pickup there when it comes to the spearman numbers, but...
He needs to go fast, though. Like, he's on the clock and he knows it, right? And you're up now against vet spearmen. There's still 13 in reserve. These guys are phenomenally more tanky, even up against the archers that are meant to counter them.
Yeah, veterancy being really, really hot there. The vet, it just buffs them up so much. They suddenly, I think it's like +8 bonus damage that they suddenly do to knights.
And it's plus
with the veterancy
10
upgrade.
Health, I believe it is. Or is it more? I think it's 10 or 15, right?
Somewhere in that region. It's definitely a lot. Like, the unit is just night and day difference between veterancy and hardened.
Yes, I think it's like 80 health to 95, perhaps. Either way, like, it's a ludicrous increase when you consider
plus
these...
20.
Plus 20. Okay, yeah, even more. Okay, there you go. Boom. Like, maybe it's archers I was thinking of 80 to 95? But the point is, these guys, like, the counter doesn't really feel like a counter anymore.
Yeah. Now they deal a total of +23 damage, bonus damage to knights, so... you combine that with like their base damage that they have right now in the Castle Age. They go from... They actually do like 35 damage with every single attack.
Against these very expensive Feudal Age Knights that will soon get access to an upgrade. LucifroN has found the pocket money to go to Castle Age, and he will be going up the Royal Institute. Smart choice here, right? I think he has that all-in window ahead of him that he has to engage with. You can't just try to greed this.
Exactly. He does have a good amount of archers. He has a good amount of knights right now in the bank. That could be the timing that he... I mean, it's not could be the timing. That is the timing that he has to use now in order to like take a decisive engagement here as soon as the Royal Institute comes in, as soon as Royal Bloodlines is researched. Behind this, MarineLorD is now on a farm transition. And also good idling here in the resource department whenever he just dives in for a little bit of a peak there on the food economy. Stuff like that is definitely going to be important here. He needs to do that a couple of times over, though, if he wants to make sure that MarineLorD isn't going to outboom him now behind this with the increased gold income that he has with the high trade house, and also relics are being captured by him at the same time as well.
I was wondering when we get the safe farms around the secondary TC. Maybe he needs to wall the palisade to the north tree line a little, right? So there's an indentation, not an easy wraparound, as there is a potential weak point there. But for now, it seems LucifroN is kind of bogged down, staring at the east side of the space. It's playing towards MarineLorD's position favorably.
With that, immediately upon H-up, getting all the important upgrades, veterancy, royal bloodlines, and veterancy on the archers as well. Now has to wait until they come in though, but at the same time, looks like MarineLorD is just detaching a couple of knights and tries to do damage to the economy from LucifroN. It's going to be really important that LucifroN reacts to all of these things happening at the same time.
Baiting him in. LucifroN wants to have a fight. MarineLorD hesitant for the moment, but the Knights, as you said, are on the way. They've even got scouting vision as they move in. I believe there are a bunch of villages just north of them there on the berries and the fishing line. That's going to be a sting up. They aren't reacting. They actually just got out here with the mill. So 1 or 2 Knights in will do some serious damage. Wall on the flank. Not quite good enough.
Just actually fighting the knight. Maybe they thought it was a scout. They do look sometimes a little bit similar.
They really do, actually. All right, so here's our Chuge Nu in cavalry form. Actually, no, sorry. The Chinese have that too, right? Fire Lancer Horsemen get mixed up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to look at the weapons, right? Between these two, but that's a lot of villagers down right now. Now, LucifroN with the French bonus managed to catch up when it comes to the villager department here right now. But yeah, this next engagement is going to be crucial. Royal Bloodlines just finished up. He got the archers, he's got the knights. He just needs to take a crucial engagement now.
There's a really big danger for LucifroN in the area he's fighting, and I think he's aware of it, and that's why he's hesitant. Gremlins. There they are. Instantly, they ambush out. Wallow wrapping coming in. That's going to push him back. And now the chase is on. This is the moment that MarineLorD was waiting for. Reeling him like a big fish. Spearmen are in. Cavalry is in. They are pinched in the middle here. They have to stand and fight. LucifroN is going to lose a lot from this. Defensive advantage to MarineLorD. Plenty of Gremlins mixed in alongside it. And it feels like a heavy loss for Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the spearmen went down. I think it started out at like 30 plus spearmen. Now it's down to 20.
Got horsemen
still,
as well now.
At the same time, the archers also, so many of them went down there.
And that's the important detail, right? He's got enough spearmen that he's fallen just divine this. It's just one gun in one person's hands, ammo in the other. Do what you gotta, comrade. And it's working.
I mean, the army count, though, from LucifroN is looking relatively good here. Oh, he's baiting him towards his villagers with the archers.
What? No. Don't look. Just keep running. Knights coming out. Spearmen still chasing. Now, these Knights were tanky, but they're starting to feel the sting. The villagers are exposed, and LucifroN, any eco lead he was about to build is about to be thrown away.
He wasn't able to body block for his archers there in that choke point, and a lot of the Knights also blocking the archers there from moving correctly, and now he's falling back on that side. Military count 40 to 17 right now. Villagers fighting against military, not something that you'd like to see, and
there's no way home. There's absolutely no way home other than in a body bag. This is going to be a heavy hit. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're one slip away from GG out of LucifroN. This has to be infuriating. Map control has now been conceded.
Yeah, exactly. And behind this, LucifroN, he doesn't have a farm transition lined up behind this. Meanwhile, MarineLorD, he's already got his farm transition. Units now running into the base of LucifroN. This is looking deadly right now for LucifroN and MarineLorD.
Look at the eco difference. Look, it's scaling. Yeah. It's scaling. Every time I look down, it's getting worse. It's getting more grim. LucifroN, he knows he doesn't want to have to be on match point this early, but he might not have much say in the matter. You mentioned there's no farm transition. He doesn't want to go into berries. He's running out of fish to actually use in safe areas. And it's going to feel like Putain is being yelled at him from the other side of the world because MarineLorD is looking unstoppable. Military Academy even on the way to ensure he now keeps that military lead.
LucifroN pulls away for just a moment, but at the same time, MarineLorD finds even more villagers once again on the pond that was exposed earlier. There's so many villagers! They're all going down! And GG gets called as soon as he notices.
No way back, but a quick way home at this rate. 3 on the board for MarineLorD, 1 away from making it a very quick second semifinal.
Oh my, this is... I mean, this is the opposite of how that matchup went the last time. Both players didn't go for only knights. One player went for the spears, and hurrah. I mean, this time, the spearman player won.
It looked damn good. I think it was the right way to play. And like the key moment in this game was actually around it was quite obvious in some people's eyes when the big fight happened, but it's the way it happened. LucifroN was astutely aware that he had to go through that area or face the Kremlin, but he has to face the off factor of the Kremlin by going that way. And that's the moment he chases in through that TC, we saw it, the spawn out. MarineLorD was waiting for it like a trap master.